do need to do is give this thing a wash. All the mud here and here. There's a load in the chassis as well. I'm going to get on and prioritise that for the time being.
I want to get all the mud off of and out of this chassis so I can do something to protect it. As you'll see in this video, I didn't get it all at once. There took about 4 different phases because once it was all dry you could see the areas that I'd missed. Also because when it's wet it looks very dark and therefore clean. This chassis is in exceptional condition compared to most defenders in the UK, so it's worth treating it well, getting the mud out as soon as possible as the damp British weather won't do it any favours. I started with getting as much mud out as I could whilst it was crumbly and dusty, having been baked in a hot, dry climate.
So mud in all the usual places. Around behind here. There's mud in there. It's going to take a bit of work to get out because the drain hole, there's only one drain hole, which is here. And the same at the front. Just got all this out from up under the front hour ago. They're quite easy. This is going to be tricky. The mud is about this deep in here, so it's going to have to wash all the way back to here. The cross brace here, just in front of the. I can feel it. Yeah, this has got mud. There's not much mud down there, you can see. Quite a bit in there. Might be getting caught up behind this ribbon up. Best I can do is break it up because it's dusty. It does break up quite nicely. The one place that is very easy to forget is up here. Between the bulkhead and the back of here. Back of the wing spat. This is all wet from when I drove in the rain. And you need both hands because up here, behind the wing, between the bulkhead and the wing, there, big chunks. There, look at that. That is more than that's what came out of the outrigger. This is what came out from behind here, in between the footwell. Always a good one not to miss. Look at that prime fertile soil. Looking a lot cleaner. Nice. Big puddle of sunflower seeds.
So I didn't film the rest of that session, but the hose pipe wasn't working basically, so I ended up making this, which is 15mm copper pipe, bit squished at the end with a bend in it. You know, you use the insert the plumbers do and bend it around your knee, and then jam it onto the hose pipe with a hose clip. And what that allows you to do is you stick that in through the chassis, the hole in the side of the chassis in there, and then you can basically direct the water, shoot a big arc of water one way down the chassis and down the other, and particularly you can get down and point it straight down at the cross braces where it sort of creates a dam as you want the mud to flow this way and drain out down here. You've got to get it up and over the cross piece. So this allows you to direct the water in all directions, and it worked an absolute treat. I wouldn't have been able to get the mud out without this, because it allows you just to send the water straight down the chassis leg all the way down. What it also does is when the arc lands, it kind of has a splash effect, so it breaks up all the mud. So this was invaluable, but yeah, unfortunately I didn't film it because I was tired and wet, absolutely saturated, just getting water dripped on me, and I couldn't really film at the same time. That though was a lifesaver. And that was the end of phase 1. So when I'd been round the whole chassis, it looked pretty clean while it was still wet, but when it dried, I could see there was this sort of sheen of clay over everything. So I wiped it over with a soapy sponge, and I realised that I needed to get a bit more up close and personal with this chassis. I didn't film any of this bit either, but I was basically repeating an entire afternoon of work, which was a bit irritating. So you'll have to use your imagination of me lying on my back, all wet and bubbly, definitely with a happy ending.
This chassis is now looking lovely and clean. I've actually scrubbed it down with washing up liquid and a sponge to just get all the clay off. You know, it's as good as it can be. This sort of surface rust in places.
So I was then a lot happier that it was in a state where I'd be able to coat it with something to protect it. But there was still more to do, because there were still areas I hadn't cleaned.
This has been full all the way to the top, each of these 3. I've refrained from putting water in there because otherwise it would just become a gloopy mess. It's like concrete, that one. I think it's all I can feel the mud right there. All done. Quite a lot came out. There's quite a lot up in here as well. Just about point, I can feel a load around here. Smashing this up. The mallet seems to rake it up a bit. The last bits to do are up here. C post there and the B post up in there. Take these plugs out. There's been a little bit up here. This one I put my finger up and I can feel dirt. Oh yeah, there's quite a lot in there. And the next day is lovely and dry.
I'm very happy with how clean I'll be able to get this chassis, although I don't want to be doing this all the time. The last areas I need to do will be cleaning all the way through the front crossmember of the rear tub, and then I've got to remove the fuel tank because there's stones and mud jammed between it and the chassis, and also the cradle underneath, which I can't get to from any other way. Although the next videos you'll see me prepping for the MOT were happening simultaneously to a lot of this cleaning, so you'll see the chassis in its pre-wash state again. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.